It had only been done by two other Americans in history. The first was Al Crane's line all the way back in 1900 when the Olympics was in its infancy. And the second was Jesse Owens at the Berlin Olympics in 1936. Both men had made history, becoming the only two Americans to ever win four gold medals within a single Olympic Games. But nearly 5 decades had passed, and there was a new contender who believed he could be the third at the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. He already held the world record in the long jump and was the leading 100-meter sprinter in the world. He was ranked sixth globally in the 200 meters, but he believed that he could win that race as well, then anchored the men's 4x100-meter race to a fourth victory, just as Jesse Owens did 48 years before. And ultimately, he did. Today is Monday, August 11th, 2025, and on this day in 1984, American athlete Carl Lewis won four gold medals at the Los Angeles Olympics, a feat no track athlete on the globe has repeated since. In this very special Podception episode, we welcome Kyle Walker from the Back of the Pack podcast to talk all things Carl Lewis. I'm your host, Running Up That Hillary, and you are listening to Today in Running History. All right, guys, special Podception episode of Today in Running History. I have Kyle Walker from the Back of the Pack podcast. Hey, Kyle, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. Tell us about your podcast.
All right. Well, I'm the host of the Back of the Pack podcast. We are a two-time weekly running podcast for the, let's say, non-elite runner. So I am not going to tell you how you're going to qualify for Boston, and I'm not going to break down your VO2 max. But we'll tell you what was a good race, what was a good experience, who had a cool medal, and then other tips and tricks from many, many years of running. Our kind of unofficial slogan is, I make the mistakes so you don't have to.
That's a good one. That should be official. I like that. I like that. And I've been on Kyle's podcast a couple times, been a listener myself for the last couple years. So definitely encourage any of y'all, if you happen to follow mine and not his, which I don't know if that's a thing, but I very much encourage y'all to check that out.
Yep, now, we're on Spotify and iTunes and iHeart and anywhere you find your podcast, you can find us.
All right, fantastic. And I will also link that in the episode description so that people don't have to go searching. Make it easy on everybody.
Well, we're really colorful. We're kind of hard to miss. So,
yeah. Just like you at races, it's hard hard to miss.
We're runners. We're supposed to be bright, right? That's what we do.
Absolutely. Now let's go back to 1984, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And today we are here to talk about Carl Lewis. So before he got to that Olympics, let's talk a little bit about background and what led to his performance there.
Yeah, well, Carl Lewis, again, we talked earlier, he missed the 1980 Olympics, as did all of the U.S., really, as the political climate was not great, shall we say. And so there was an Olympics that we didn't even attend. But when we get to 1984, that is when the Olympics were on our home turf. That was in Los Angeles. And even though things were still not all great with the Soviet Union and they decided to boycott that year, 1984 was really the year that the Olympics was, I don't know, it was made more mainstream. It's what they started to call the modern Olympics because it was not paid for by the government. It's the first time the Olympics ever showed a profit. And again, it was right here in our backyard in Los Angeles. And so it was a really big deal for Carl Lewis, who, again, couldn't run in the 1980 Olympics. Boy, I can't talk today. Good talk about that. But he was able to run in 1984. And so on this date, in August 11th of 1984, this is when he won his fourth gold medal. So we can go over real quick how he got to those gold medals. He got a gold in the 100-meter race, a gold in the 200-meter race, a gold in the long jump, and then on August 11th, he got his fourth gold at the it was the 4x100-meter relay. So again, it was something that hadn't been done since Jesse Owens did it back in 1936.
1936.
1936, yeah, that year. And so it was a really big deal that an American was able to break that record on American soil, because when Jesse Owens did it, of course, there was that guy named Hitler who was in the stands. And it was not such a wonderful event, so we said.
Yeah, it always just blows my mind just picturing that Olympics
Right.
And just Hitler in the stands. I mean, like literal Nazi Germany. And I mean, obviously this was pre-World War II, so this wasn't, the height of everything, but it just blows my mind. What it must have been like. I mean, for any Americans, but also, but especially Black Americans, like Jesse Owens. It's just I can't even fathom what that would have been like.
No, I mean it had to have been terrible. I mean, you're done with World War One, and now you're over to the Olympics. Things are already starting to get pretty dicey aiming towards World War Two. And yeah, you got this guy named Hitler, who of course believed in the perfect being, shall we say. And then Jesse Owens goes over there and just blows it all out of the water. Like, here, I'll show you a little something. He gets 4 gold medals at the Berlin Olympics. So,
And it's cool because both of them were really strong long jumpers. So it's not just running. They both happen to be really good at the same field event as well. And that was some people say that's Carl Lewis's strongest event.
indeed, it is. So the second one, he got the long jump gold. So let's talk about that real quick. So that date was August 6th in 1984. His winning jump was 8.54 meters. So that's 28 feet. That's what he got that on. And it only took him 2 jumps to get it, and then he just didn't jump the whole rest of the time. Everyone thought, well, maybe you could get a better distance. You could go for a world record. It's like, nope, I locked up the gold. I'm good. I'm done. So to have that kind of ability and then confidence in it, just I don't know. I find that to be very surprising because again, we always think of him as a sprinter, as a runner, but he just dominated the long jump, and there was no one else even really close to him on that one.
Yeah, and he did that because he still had, the 2 races left plus heats and all that stuff. And so, I mean, he was being tactical. It wasn't just hubris. It was, I can't risk overextending, doing all this. It's not the time to go for a world record. It's, get the gold and get to my next race.
And it is funny because people actually thought he was kind of lazy about it. Like, why are you jumping more? He actually got flack for not continuing to jump. And you're right, like you said, it's tactical. And it was a smart tactical move. But boy, he caught a lot of static for that.
Yeah, but it worked out for him, and so he still had more races, and he was able to win those as well. Let's talk about the 200 and the 4x100 as well a little bit.
So next was the 200. All right. And so that was August 8th of 1984. His winning time, 19.80 seconds. And at that time, it was the 3rd fastest 200-meter time in history. Now that's since been broken. But in 1984, he had the 3rd fastest. He beat Kirk Baptiste and another American by a significant margin. So again, another race that he just completely dominated.
And then exactly, what is this? 41 years ago today, as of air date. 41 years ago was the 4x100, and actually the 3rd episode of Today in Running History. I had Calvin Smith on, so he was part of that relay as well.
So the 4x100 again on August 11th. So his team was Sam Grady, Ron Brown, Calvin Smith, and then Carl Lewis ran the anchor. So the last person to go. And they had a final time of 37.83 seconds, which at that time was a world record. So that team was flat hoofing it right there. And it said that Lewis brought it home in dramatic fashion with a world record time, which sealed, again, because it was his sport, sealed that 4th Olympic medal, thus tying Jesse Owens.
All right, so all four gold medals were his. And what came next? What did the rest of his career look like?
His career, of course, pretty staggering, even by today's standards. Total Olympic medals, 9 gold and 1 silver. So he did the Olympics from 1984 all the way up through the 1996 Olympics. I think those were the ones in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So yeah, from Los Angeles to Atlanta and everywhere in between. 9 gold, 1 silver. He had, at the World Championships, he had 8 gold medals. His long jump dominance, he was undefeated in the long jump for 10 years. From 1991 to 1991, no one could beat him in the long jump. Which, Jeez.
That's incredible. And it just blows my mind. Like before I started this podcast, started researching all of this, I never even really thought of him as a long jumper. Like I thought that was kind of an afterthought. And then looking at how dominant he was in that event kind of blows my mind because it's kind of like a lesser known thing about him.
Yeah, no, it was never really all that publicized. And let's be honest, I mean, I guess the long jump isn't as sexy of an event as a
True.
100-meter sprint. It's so exciting. And we had the
Or at
big,
least it wasn't until Tara Davis Woodall. So now it's getting a lot more attention. She's awesome. Hook 'em.
yep, there you go. You had to work in a Texas reference somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so his personal best. So in the 100 meters, his personal best was 9.86 seconds. And that was a world record in 1991. So again, he was getting faster as he got older. I wish I had that problem.
Yeah.
The 200 meter, 19.75 seconds. Yeah, 19.75 seconds. And then the long jump, 8.87 meters. I think that was that 28 footer from
A lot. Very far.
That's nuts. But it really is interesting. I find it fascinating that, you would think, especially with the way we like to build up our athletes and whatnot, that after those Olympics, he would have been like the USA Golden Boy. But
Yeah.
he did not connect commercially. There weren't a lot of ads put around him. There was not a lot of endorsement deals after the fact. Like, I'm sure he did fine, but everyone thought he was too polished. Like, he didn't really resonate with the average Joe, I guess you could say. And again, I remember seeing him in interviews. And yeah, I mean, he doesn't come across as a big flashy character. He's not going to be LeBron James, or he's not going to be Tom Brady or something like that. And he certainly wasn't over the top. He's just kind of this quiet guy who went out, handled his business, and then people thought, oh, well, he's pretty full of himself. Jeez, man, you guy can't catch a break. But you win all these medals, and you think the country would like give you the loving embrace, and he's just like, oh, thanks, Carl, appreciate you.
Yeah, especially seeing the parallels with Jesse Owens, and we know that he came back a national hero. He was on billboards, endorsements, and all of that. And so it's that's definitely one of the things that the parallel doesn't line up.
Yep. Now, the one thing that he did not help himself with this. He did actually put out a music video and a song.
Oh no!
You didn't say, oh yeah.
Oh gosh, I didn't know about that one.
Oh yeah, he released a pop single titled "Break It Up" in 1987, and it's awful. Like I remember hearing about it and hearing the song like way back in the 80s. I do have memories of that, but for this, I went re-listen. Oh, Carl. Oh, it's bad. So yeah, if you want to, go look that up, do so at your own risk.
Oh gosh.
He also, and then he also had the national anthem scandal where he came out. I don't remember if it was for a football game or a baseball game, but he sang the national anthem, and he did not do such a great job in front of a live crowd on the mic, shall we say. So he definitely had a few things that were hiccups in his post-Olympic career.
Yeah, that's can't be perfect. That's a little a little different than what I was expecting. I don't know how I never heard about that. That is so funny.
Can't believe it. Oh yeah, no, you got to go check it out now.
Wow. At least Fergie, overshadowed him with the national anthem, because that's been a while, and that still is cemented in my head. So at least she did that.
There have certainly been some bad ones, and I don't even think his was the worst. But it also was right around the time that Roseanne Barr did her god awful rendition of the national anthem. So it's like there were a lot of bad versions going around all at the same time. So it kind of became a thing.
Oh, yikes!
Yeah, we don't need to hear any of them ever again. Just no.
Wow.
Just a little bit about him. He definitely comes from an athletic family. His mother, Evelyn Lawler, was a hurdler who competed for the U.S. So he kind of came by this naturally. He trained under Tom Tellez at the University of Houston, and so he was part of their very dominant sprinting program. And then, his relay strategy was he often ran the anchor because he was one of the few sprinters that was equally dominant. Like he could do all the legs. So if you can do the anchor, because that's normally, I would think you would agree, that's where you put your strongest runner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever run any relays in your track days?
Oh gosh. So I did in middle school, I did the 4x1. No, I did not. 4x400. I'm not a sprinter. Even the 400 is pushing it, but definitely not 4x100. And then in high school at a dual meet, I was a pole vaulter in high school, so I was not even running track. I ran cross country, so I was running some, but definitely not a sprinter. And four of us, there was like two shot putters and two pole vaulters. We're like, let's go do a 4x100. Let's go sign up. Just because it was a dual meet, and there's the heats. You can sign up, you can do whatever. We're already on the track team, and we did that, and it was the most embarrassing. Like, I swear I ran probably a 30-second 100 meters. Like my 100-meter sprint is pretty much the same pace as my mile pace. Like, it wasn't great.
But you have fun, right?
Yeah, and I have this memory. If I was like middle of the pack, then I probably wouldn't have this strong memory of my one relay that I ran in all of high school.
Oh, geez. You can say you did it. You know what?
I did. I did.
Yep.
All right. Now, where is Carl Lewis now?
Well, he's kind of all over the place. I do see that he actually has a documentary coming out.
Ooh.
It's called I'm Carl Lewis. And really what they're saying, because it's not out yet, it comes out later in 2025. This is basically him trying to reclaim his legacy. Because again, he had the flop of a pop song and he had the bad national anthem. He's often considered a little arrogant or aloof. So he's actually putting out a documentary to try and dispel all that. You're like, hey, I'm actually a good guy. I'm clearly a great athlete, Hall of Fame athlete. But I thought it was kind of interesting that since this is, we're talking about this, it's coming out later this year. So
That's awesome.
I'm Carl Lewis. And then we had seen him last year at the Olympics doing some correspondent work, getting on the microphone, talking about the sprinting events. So really, he's staying busy. If you can believe this, he's 61 years old now. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I guess it lines up. Yeah, because he was supposed to run in 1980, and that's a full 45 years ago. So,
right? That's like you said, the Moscow games.
Yeah,
boycotted by the U.S. Again, not going to Soviet Russia. Okay, so yeah, Carl Lewis 61, but you see him all over the place. He's tracked up, he's correspondent.
And we saw him at Faith Kipyegon on the Breaking 4 event in Paris was that July? That was just last month, right? I don't know. Like summer just it was either July or June. I don't know. It was recent. It was very recent. He was there. He was one of the correspondents on there. And then he's actually he's coaching at his alma mater, which is pretty cool. Of all the schools to go back to, he went back to the one that he ran for. So I like that.
I was just waiting to see if you were going to take a shot at the other school because it's not Texas.
Oh no, I don't have strong feelings against University of Houston. It's a good school. no rivalry or anything there. Obviously not Texas, but now good school, and it's always cool seeing people, whatever school they did run for. It's cool when they go back and are able to get back to that program. I think that's really cool as well.
And it's always amazing that's not Oregon. Seems like everyone comes from Oregon.
Yeah, at least distance runners. But and these days a lot from BYU. They are dominating these days.
Well, it's that altitude in Utah, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Like whenever I go to altitude, I like walking is a challenge. So I can only imagine like training at that. I've never done the altitude training, mostly because, I run 10-minute miles. But so it went, let's get me down from 10-minute miles to 9:45.
Hey, that's improvement. Look at that altitude go to work.
Yeah, all I need is like 3 months in Salt Lake City, and I'll be good.
Look at that. See, she's pulling everyone. Look at this. It launched right here.
Awesome.
She's going to become elite. Here we go.
That's all. That's all I need. Yeah, that's been the problem so far. Is that I don't live at altitude, and if I was, I would absolutely be training for 2028 in
Would have
Los
been on
Angeles.
the fourth program. Like we know how this is. It's all the out.
Absolutely.
You know, never mind Texas heat and humidity or the flatness of the Kansas where I live. No, it's altitude. That's the problem.
And I bet we're gonna see Carl Lewis at the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. I think it's gonna be really cool to see people like him, Joan Benoit, like a lot of the athletes that dominated at the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles, kind of coming back to the same city and all that. I think that's gonna be really cool.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's going to be references and callbacks. 1984, the opening ceremonies had breakdancers.
Oh wow.
Breakdancing was like the big thing. Like it was all the rage. I can almost guarantee you there will be breakdancing again at the next Olympics. Now it's not going to be an Olympic sport anymore. Thank goodness for that. We had our full of that one. But I bet it's part of the opening ceremony.
Hopefully they get Ray Gun from Australia for some.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, that is
What?
yeah, lying on the ground. And so hopefully they get her on that. And then all right, we got the documentary coming out. Do you have any information, like did you see what month or platform or anything?
It just says 2025. That's not out yet. So let me. Yeah, no, there's not a release date right now, but it is definitely coming out. It looks like it's already been aired at a film festival, so it should be here pretty
Yeah,
soon.
I mean, we only have 5 months left, so it'll be sometime in the next few months.
Well, when I see it, I'll definitely throw it out there.
Yeah.
The Back in the Pack podcast Facebook page, hint, wink, wink, and then we'll share it on all your platforms as well.
Perfect. Sounds great. Well, Kyle, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining special Podception episode.
No, it's weird being on this side of the interview. Though. I'm not gonna lie, it's throwing me off a little bit. I'm not used to being the guest, but it's kind of fun.
Awesome. Now, a little bit with you. What is next with you, and where can people find you? In addition to the online links, what are your races coming up?
Sure. I I have races every weekend between now and November. So I am always at a starting line somewhere. Right now, I'm training for my first ultra marathon, the 50 miler coming up in September. So all the races I'm doing between now and then, they are simply ultra marathon prep.
Wow.
A distance like this before, full marathon is my high right now. So decided to take on a challenge, and boy, it's going to be.
And where is that? That's not in Kansas, is it?
It is, yes.
Oh wow! So it's going to be hot. You're not traveling somewhere.
No.
Oh my.
Oh, Osawatomie. So Osawatomie, Kansas, along the Flint Hill trails. It used to be a railroad. And so, they took out all the railroad ties and all that. Now it's just that crushed limestone, flat as a pancake. And it's basically all the way down the trail and all the way back will be my 50 mile. So very cool, tree line. But yeah, even at the end of September, it's going to be hot.
Yeah. Wow. Well, cannot wait to watch you do that. I will put links in episode description to podcast and then Facebook page, all of that. It'll all be there. And then we will be cheering you on. And then we'll also be looking out for the Carl Lewis documentary.
That's right. Yep. And we'll get the word out as soon as we can. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be fun.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
You bet. Thanks, everybody.
That's all I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to turn on alerts, subscribe to the channel, like this episode, and then send it to everyone you've ever met. Then join me tomorrow as we hear about the incredible octogenarian breaking barriers in the marathon. I'm your host, Running Up That Hillary, and this has been Today in Running History. 8 feet, no track at... Dang it. Oh, what a long sentence. Okay. Today is Monday, August 11th. Oh my God. Okay. All right. And that's it. Let's hope this green screen works.